Welcome to the Department of Physical Therapy in the Faculty of Medicine at the University of British Columbia. Here in the Department of Physical Therapy, we train students to become leaders in the physical therapy profession. So at the MPT program at UBC, we instruct students in both lecture and laboratory settings. Typically, not always, there will be a short lecture delivered at the beginning of a practical laboratory session. That would be the lead instructor doing that lecture. Sometimes as part of that, they'll do a demonstration, and they might demonstrate the skill on a student or on another instructor. And that instructor might be a clinical skills assistant. And you can think about a clinical skills assistant as a teaching assistant who's in the room with the instructor in order to help provide feedback for the students throughout the laboratory session. These clinical skills instructors, or CSAs, they're clinical physiotherapists, and usually they'll come in a class where they have clinical experience.
I would say that as a CSA, my teaching, I am often facilitating the students, that the instructor is the teacher in the classroom and they are instructing and having the main role as the teacher. So as a CSA, I'm just helping out.
Once you're at the class, you're expected to support the learning of the students and support the instructor. Sometimes that looks like providing feedback to the students. Other times, you may be involved in the examination process. So at the MPT program, like most physiotherapy schools, we examine students in practical examinations called OSCEs. And CSAs and instructors both can sit as an invigilator during these exams.
CSAs are invaluable. I teach and I show students how to find various structures, and then the only way to confirm whether the students are actually on the right structures and their hands are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing are my CSAs.
With one instructor and 80 students, the most valuable thing is having CSAs circulating for when you're practicing those skills and you have those questions. So it's as though someone you can go to right away, because you might not necessarily have the question the first time you see it demonstrated by an instructor. It's not till you get your hands on your classmates and you start practicing and you start having someone around you observing you that you realize, oh, I need someone to give me this instant feedback right now so that I can be a better practitioner.
The first couple of years, I will admit, myself and some of the other CSAs, we definitely had to put in a bit more time into preparation, simply because, yes, we know our anatomy very well, but there are some minor details that might not be as clinically relevant as some of the other ones, and so we did have to go back and review some of that stuff.
I think I felt fairly prepared to be a CSA, even though I only had 2 years of experience. I think a lot of the information was quite fresh in my mind. A lot of the notes I had access to from when I was in school and in that same year, and so I was able to go and review those things again. And I think because it's so fresh in my mind, it was actually quite natural for me to come in and start teaching those same skills.
Being a CSA is incredibly rewarding. It's so enjoyable to get to be part of the learning of the next generation of physiotherapists. Not only does it enhance the learning of the students by you being able to bring your clinical experience into the classroom and really creating that connection between classroom learning and clinical practice, but I found it also really helps enhance your own work as a physiotherapist.
You know, there's been instances where students have asked a question that has changed my perception of my job.
I would say just go for it. It's awesome.